Of all the historical virtues, the only one that cannot be simulated is courage. While it is possible to fake wisdom, justice, and temperance, at some point in life, you will be faced with problems, and to face them, courage is indispensable. However, courage is not to be confused with recklessness or taking excessive risks. Also, it doesn't mean you'll never feel fear, anger, or sadness. Courage is the quality that makes it possible to do what is right, regardless of the circumstances. A brave person may feel fear, as it is something natural, but even so, he acts according to his beliefs and convictions, taking the necessary actions in each situation. Running away from problems is not a solution, as they will only get bigger and more challenging. True courage is facing obstacles head-on, overcoming them, and turning them into opportunities to follow your own path. The myth of Hercules illustrates this lesson. When he was about to become an adult, Hercules found himself undecided about his future. In a dream, two paths opened before him, represented by two women. One symbolized pleasure and offered an easy life, with shortcuts and without challenges, promising you all pleasures without difficulties. The other, on the other hand, represented virtue and showed him the reality. To achieve something, effort is needed. Nothing is granted by the gods without work. If Hercules wanted to be admired for his courage, he would need to perform virtuous deeds on behalf of all Greece. Virtue presented him with a more challenging but rewarding path. Facing difficulties with the possibility of rewards and significant sacrifices, Hercules chose virtue as his path. His life was not easy, but it was purposeful. He achieved great things through hard work, despite making several mistakes along the way. Hercules courageously confronted everything he needed to do in order to become a god. Similarly, historical figures like King Leonidas exemplify the courage required to act with virtue. In the Battle of Thermopylae, where King Xerxes' massive Persian army threatened to destroy all of Greece, Leonidas and his 300 personal guards decided to face the invaders, knowing it was a suicide mission. Though outnumbered 1,000 to 1, they were committed to their duty as Spartans and Greeks. They might have been afraid, but they did not show it, nor did they allow it to affect their judgment about what was right. This kind of courage involves confronting challenging situations that push you to your limits, yet still acting rightly and facing the problem rather than fleeing from it. The 300 Spartans, including King Leonidas, perished at Thermopylae, but their sacrifice and courage allowed the Greeks to regroup and ultimately defeat the Persians in Salamis and Plataea. The courage of these 300 Spartans played a vital role in saving all of Greece. In history, there are numerous examples of such courage, and King Leonidas stands as a clear example of it. Legend has it that his bravery and dedication to his principles are remembered and admired to this day. Both Hercules and King Leonidas are prime examples of historical figures who exhibited bravery. They didn't actively seek risks or intentionally put themselves in perilous situations, but they didn't shy away from danger or unpleasant circumstances either. When they believed that something of greater importance was at stake, they fearlessly confronted it. For historical figures, courage is an indispensable quality that complements the other three virtues: wisdom, justice, and temperance. Acting rationally involves demonstrating wisdom, justice, and temperance, but to act rationally and courageously, one must possess the bravery to face their ego, fight prejudices, seek truth, acknowledge mistakes even when painful, confront outside opinions, strive to achieve goals, and have the courage to embrace change. To cultivate courage, we should focus on three aspects. First, we must work on developing our sense of responsibility. Reflecting on what falls within our sphere of responsibility and understanding its implications means caring for and protecting those areas. Recognizing that when things go wrong, it's our duty to take responsibility and not shy away from it is essential. In the story of the 300 Spartans, they were well aware that they were responsible for protecting and defending their city and its inhabitants. Their sense of duty drove them to face an overwhelmingly numerous enemy, as they understood the lives of many people depended on them. The second aspect is facing fear by comprehending what lies within our control and what doesn't. Courage involves acknowledging that some things are beyond our control, and rather than succumbing to fear, we focus on taking action where we can make a difference. By understanding and cultivating these aspects of courage, we can become more courageous individuals, capable of facing challenges and acting bravely in the pursuit of what is right and just. There are countless situations that evoke fear, and many of them are beyond our control. It is crucial to distinguish between what we can and cannot control. Historical courage stems from asking ourselves if the source of our fear is entirely beyond our control, then does it make sense to be afraid of something we cannot influence? Similarly, fearing the actions of others is futile because external factors cannot harm us. Only our own thoughts have that power. By reflecting on these questions, historical figures learn not to fear circumstances like poverty, public opinion, illness, or death. Courage is not solely demonstrated in grand acts of bravery. Instead, it must be practiced daily through small actions. By gradually stepping out of our comfort zones and daring to do things that make us uncomfortable, we become accustomed to being brave. This practice is essential because, at some point in life, we will encounter situations that demand courage to overcome. Therefore, it is crucial to be prepared and not let these challenges catch us off guard. It's important to remember that courage does not mean acting impulsively, but rather, it involves acting with purpose and taking calculated risks for the greater good. Combining courage with prudence ensures that we act wisely and responsibly in challenging situations. I hope this video encourages you to become more courageous when facing situations that require it. Let's put this historical virtue into practice, following the examples of Hercules and Leonidas. Feel free to check out the additional videos on Stoicism for further learning. Until next time. Opinion addressed in the text about courage and bravery is extremely relevant and inspiring. By reflecting on the stories of historical figures like Hercules and King Leonidas, we can understand the importance of courage in our everyday lives. Courage is a virtue that goes beyond the simple act of facing physical dangers or external challenges. It involves the ability to confront our own fears, face our weaknesses, and act righteously even in difficult or uncertain situations. It's what drives us to act correctly, even when the path seems scary or full of obstacles.